Hello, everybody. My name is Helena Jehnichen. I'm known as the Stop Smoking Lady, also the owner of Flourish Hypnosis. In this video, I'd like to share with you a technique called the emotion code. The emotion code is a great technique that I combine with my hypnosis. I use the emotion code technique for my weight loss clients to identify limiting beliefs that they may have about losing weight, creating a new ideal shape and size. I also use the emotion code to help remove cravings for foods almost like instantaneously, so people just lose the desire to eat or drink a beverage that's not helping them attain their shape and size. I also use the emotion code process for my stop smoking clients. And I want to, when I work with my stop smoking clients, I want to make sure that they feel safe, that it's a good time for them to stop smoking, that they want to stop smoking, that they believe that they can stop smoking, that they believe that they will remain a non-smoker, and so many other questions to ask. So let me just dive into this emotion code process, and I'll give you some background information, and then I will demonstrate the process for you. This is a book called The Emotion Code, and it's available on Amazon, and it's written by Dr. Bradley Nelson. Dr. Bradley Nelson's a chiropractor from the United States, and many years ago, he was noticing that his chiropractic patients some of them were complaining that they were having like chronic pain in their neck and their shoulder and maybe in their lower back or wherever it might be. And yet he was noticing physically that they should be feeling fine, x-rays and just from the work that he was doing. But they were still complaining about this chronic pain that they just couldn't get rid of. So he started doing some research, and he kind of came to the idea that maybe it's emotions that are causing the chronic pain. Now, as a hypnotist, you go, well, of course. Well, it was new for him, and he put this process together for him to be able to identify the emotions that are causing the chronic pain. And more than that, he found a process to remove the negative emotions to allow the chronic pain to disappear. And then he started experimenting and noticing that he could also remove trapped emotions. He calls them trapped negative emotions that are causing other things like food cravings or procrastination or fear of heights or fear of driving a car. So many different things. And he also noticed that he could actually work on other people with people's permission, such as the parent's permission to work on the minor child. He also was using this process for animals to release the negative trapped emotions in animals that are causing things like biting or fear or other issues. So let me jump into it. Again, it's the emotion code. It's available on Amazon. He wrote it so anybody can heal themselves and do this process. His latest book was forwarded by Tony Robbins, and there's a interesting story about the full circle. Dr. Bradley Nelson and his wife were helped by Tony Robbins's. Remember those TV commercials? They bought his program, and they actually were helped a lot by that particular program. And in the just shortly, maybe about 2 years ago, Tony Robbins calls him up, Dr. Brad, and invites him over for dinner so Tony could learn about the emotion code. He had heard so many good things about it. Let me get into it. So the emotion code, there's 7 keys to the process, and I've got these little cards here to help go through it. So first of all, the first key to the process is permission. So when I'm working with my clients, I want their permission that I can work with them energetically. I want to work with them energetically. This allows me to work with my clients online energetically. As you know, we all have kind of like a little connection, a little energetic connection, and with permission, we can tap into the other person's subconscious mind, the powerful, all-knowing subconscious mind. If you're familiar with the Simpson protocol, highly recommend that particular protocol to study that. You'll know that the subconscious mind, the superconscious mind are able to do and create changes just like that. So when I get a person's permission to work with them energetically, I also then ask to become their proxy, meaning that I can ask their subconscious mind yes or no questions. And the way that I'm going to ask yes or no questions is through a technique called muscle testing. Now, you might be familiar with muscle testing. Maybe you've had someone extend your arm out to the side, and then you press down on it. So you get a strong arm. That means it's a yes. And when the arm kind of falls down to the ground, that's a no. And it's really effective for asking the subconscious mind yes or no questions. Some chiropractors do it, acupuncturists, a hypnotist might do it for someone. You can find out, actually it's a wonderful way to find out if you're allergic to a food or if a food is really good for you, if you need a nutrient, or other questions. I ask other questions. Now, the muscle testing that I use is, because I don't touch the other person. I don't touch the other person. I actually agree with my subconscious mind that my muscle testing looks like this. I interlock my two fingers and I pull. And when I pull and they get locked together, that's a yes. And when I pull and they pull apart, that's a no. So that's a yes and that's a no. I've done thousands of these emotion code sessions. They're super fast. And so I've gotten really good at that's a yes and that's a no. So now that we've got our muscle testing, what I want to do with my clients is ask them a severity question. I want to get a ranking of their severity. And there's probably should be a 0 through 10, but I'm looking for their conscious answer as to the problem. So I'll ask my client, do you believe that you can remain a non-smoker? And they might say yes, or they might say no. And I'll ask them to rate that level. And then I will go ask their subconscious mind the same question. Severity is a great way for clients to, if they're fearful about something, and often they'll go, yeah, it's a 10. I'm so afraid of public speaking, or I'm really afraid of heights, or whatever that is. And by the end of the emotion code session, yes, them again. So I just want you to, just think about that, and how do you feel about that? Can you imagine yourself doing that? And then you know how good it works. Now, here's the magic. The magic is a emotion code chart. So Dr. Bradley put together a chart, and it looks like this. It's readily available on the internet. It's called the Emotion Code Chart, and it's also available, if you message me, I'll send you a nice color copy, just like this. And it's 60 negative emotions divided into 2 columns and 6 rows. Now, if you look really closely, the 6 rows are based on Chinese medicine or Chinese acupuncture. The different organs in the body are frequency generators. They generate emotions. The heart could be a negative emotion about abandonment or betrayal. The spleen, the stomach, is an emotion generator of anxiety, despair, or failure, or helplessness. Lungs, crying, discouragement. Liver, gallbladder, anger, bitterness. The kidneys and bladder, blaming or dread. And the glands or sexual organs, humiliation, jealousy, unworthiness. And so this is the emotion code chart that I am going to be demonstrating the process on, and I'll be using muscle testing. So emotion code chart. And then magnets. How are we going to use magnets in this process? Well, first step is to identify the negative trapped emotion that is causing a person this particular issue or limiting belief. For my own use, I put together about 50 limiting beliefs, and this one's about stop smoking. I have one on weight as well, and I can go through that chart, the limiting beliefs chart, and find out if there's a limiting belief that has some negative emotions around that we can release the negative emotions, allowing the belief to be changed into something else. The way we use magnets. I've got some hematite magnets right here. And any magnet will do. A fridge magnet will do. If you've got a neat can magnet, that will do too. And truth be told, we have enough magnetic energy in our body and in our hands that we can do the work as well. And the work that we're going to do is we are going to swipe away, cancel the negative emotion. The way it works is that the emotion is a vibration, frequency, vibration that's been trapped inside the physical body, causing the chronic pain. Just vibrating, maybe the size of a lemon or so, and it's stuck there. And it got stuck there because it is an emotion that never got processed. Now, maybe the emotion was trapped when there was an accident, and the person was unable to process their emotions, and it just got trapped. Or maybe the emotion goes back before initial sensitizing event. Anybody? The ISE. That maybe when they were younger, they observed something and it was in their body, but they didn't know how to deal with it. And then the accident comes and it triggers, and now they've got the chronic pain. When we're doing the emotion code, I'm going to ask if there's a negative trapped emotion that's on this chart that can be released or is the cause about the chronic pain. Then that emotion is an energy, remember, comes out of the physical body into our energetic body. Your aura, or that body that, you know, that when somebody walks in the room and you're like, and feel the heebie-jeebies, or you kind of feel them like they're feel really good and like it's a great presence. That's your energetic body. So when I call out the emotion from the emotion code chart used through muscle testing, I get a yes. It pops out into the energetic body, and then I want to use magnets and run it over the governing meridian. If you're familiar with EFT, you know that the governing meridian runs down sort of the center to the top of the tailbone. So anything that we do over the governing meridian affects the entire physical body. When we use a magnet over the governing meridian, that negative emotion that's kind of floating out here, it dissipates, it cancels, it goes away, it doesn't go back in. Hence, removing a negative trapped emotion that's vibrating, causing the person the chronic pain, the food craving, or a limiting belief. Sounds interesting. I know it does for me, because this is how I got involved in doing the emotion code. I was having a business coach, and she would be asking me, you know, did you do your homework? And I'm like, no, got an excuse. And she would do the emotion code on me, and she would find the negative emotions and she would release it. And all I know is the following week, homework was done, no longer an issue. And so I started asking her, well, can you do it for this fear or this belief? You know, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, all those kinds of things. And all of a sudden, my confidence went right up through the roof. I felt really good and I was learning. So I went and became a certified emotion code practitioner through Dr. Brad. He's the only one that teaches this. I can't teach you. You can get the book, you can read the book. I'm online on Facebook. I did 2 years worth of a Facebook live show once a week called the Emotion Code Divas. And we talked about topics from everything from cravings and procrastination, chronic pain, to heartbreak, grief, hormonal issues, as well as loneliness, different topics like that. It was a great 2 years. The Emotion Code Divas. So now that was the magnet. So now we're using the magnet to remove the negative emotion so it doesn't go back in. And hydrated practitioner. Cheers, water. Water helps your brain think, but it also allows energy to move very freely. Anytime, if you're ever doing muscle testing, you're not getting a right answer, hydration, drink some water. let me begin by demonstrating the process. And did I get everything? Yep, permission. So I got permission to work on myself. If you want an emotion code session, send me a PM. Send me a private message on Facebook. Look up me, Helena Jehnichen. Make friends with me, or just go ahead and send me a private message, and we'll connect. And I'll do an emotion code session for you for free, and so you can experience it for yourself. And yeah, I'll become your proxy and ask your subconscious mind questions. So excellent, that is everything. So let's start the demonstration of how this works. Now, the first question always is am I hydrated? Put the fingers together. I'm getting a yes, I'm getting a no. Good. Question, am I Helena Jehnichen hydrated at this time? Yes. Am I hydrated enough to do the emotion code work? Yes. If you've ever done muscle testing and you're not getting a clear, crisp yes or no answer, maybe you don't trust yourself. Maybe you don't like the answer. I've learned that I will only ask the subconscious mind a question through muscle testing if I agree to go by the answers. Never ask yourself something you don't really want, because you'll train your mind to lie to you. I don't want no lying going on. So, am I hydrated? Yes. I'm going to demonstrate, and I am going to look up one of my limiting beliefs for weight loss. So on my sheet in front of me on the screen right now, which you can't see, I can actually just scan it. My subconscious mind has seen it. I created it. And I can ask, are there any limiting beliefs on this sheet of paper that's in front of me? Yes. That are causing, blocking, stopping me from releasing a few extra COVID pounds? Yes. Watch this. Is it in the top half? No. Is it in the bottom half? Yes. Is it the very bottom one? No. Is it number up from the bottom, the first, second, third? Third. Did you notice how that got locked right there? The third one. And it is being being overweight doesn't harm my health. Is that the limiting belief I have? Yes, it is. So the question then is are there any negative trapped emotions? Yes. Causing that belief? Yes. Isn't that an interesting belief? Being overweight doesn't really cause any effect on my health. Hogwash. Of course I know that to be true, but my belief is, it's okay. So here we go. I'm going to ask, are there any negative emotions causing me to hold on to that belief? Is it in column A? No. Is it in column B? Yes. Is it in an odd row? No. Is it in an even row? Yes. Is it 2, 4, 6? It's in column B, row 6. So I'm down here. Now I'm going to ask individually. You see, I just got rid of 55 emotions by asking that way. Is it pride, shame, shock? Shock is causing me to believe that being overweight doesn't affect my health. Now, don't say that I'm particularly overweight, but maybe let's say 10 pounds, maybe. Is it shock? Watch this. This is so cool. You'll love this. Regression. Do I need to know more? Yes. My conscious mind needs to know more information. Was shock trapped before the age of 50? Yes. Before the age of 40? No. Was it trapped before the age of 45? Yes. So now I know that shock, my conscious mind wants more information, was trapped between the ages of 40 and 45. Was it trapped before, was it 40, 41, 42? Right around the age of 42-ish. 42-ish. Do I need to know more? No. That's all the conscious information my conscious mind needed. So shock was trapped around the age of 42. Can I release shock? Yes. Taking my magnets, swiping it over my head 3 times. 3 times if the emotion is your own, 10 times if it's inherited. And you'll have to ask, if you've absorbed it from someone else, how much more? Or how many more swipes? Did I release it? Yes. Is there any other emotion, negative emotion on the chart that's causing me to hang on to the belief that being overweight will not affect my health? No. Am I done? Yes. Do I still believe that? No. Do I believe that my weight and my health, my future health and current health are correlated? Yes. It's going to undo. And I am done. And I am Helena. Yes, good. That's the emotion code process. When I work with my clients, the sessions are often 25 minutes, standalone, just the emotion code. When I work with my clients that are for weight loss, I will use it for limiting beliefs, preventing them from reaching their goal, or super fast, always first session, I offer to remove a certain food item that they never ever want to eat or drink. And by the second week, when they come back and they haven't touched it and they've lost interest, they want more emotion code work. I'm Helena Jehnichen. Find me on Facebook. Find me on the web. I'm thestopsmokinglady.com. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. Best way is through Facebook. Send me a PM or email me at helena@thestopsmokinglady.com. That's all for now. Goodbye.